Hello everyone, here's how to get a guaranteed shiny alpha Pokemon in Pokemon Legends CA. As you can see here, we got a shiny Aegislash that is a alpha Pokemon. And this is a pretty easy method here. You can do this at zone 20. However, there are a lot of other areas that are also able to do this technique. Now, this technique guarantees that you will get a shiny Pokemon because once a Pokemon is shiny, it's going to be locked in. Now, this just makes it a matter of time. You can get some pretty great Pokemon here, like Gardevoir pops up really easy. You can get an alpha of them. There's also a method for Dragonite that I posted on my channel as well, which he has a great Mega Evolution here too, and you can actually find him as an alpha in this zone. Now, the technique is we're gonna have to come right over here. Now, I'd recommend, there's two ways we can go about doing this. So the first one is to go to the zone 20 here, and you can just refresh the zone a bunch of times and keep running in, running through, but another way is to take an elastic band. This is kind of similar to the other technique here. You can put it around your controller. I recommend using a third-party controller. I just got this one off Amazon. It was 25 bucks and it works really well. What it does great is it has a turbo button. However, you don't need a turbo button if you wanted to do this kind of like an AFK, or not really an AFK method, but having the controller in hand and spamming the A button. But if you have the remote stick held down, you're going to automatically run back to the bench. Whenever this happens, it's going to zone in and cycle through new Pokemon in this area. It does it in a 50-meter radius here, so every time that you do that, it's going to pop in new Pokemon. So this means you can get shiny versions of the starter Pokemon if you got a lot of willpower. However, it's a lot easier, obviously, with a turbo controller, because then you can just set it, press and hold the turbo button twice, and then just press A twice. And it, for most controllers, it's going to activate the turbo. But from this method, you're able to get these shiny starters really easily, as well as legendaries, because it's actually able to cycle in one of these here. And this will work at any bench location, because all you have to do is just go up to the bench and just keep refreshing it. There's also the teleporters in the cafe, which can net you a shiny Metang, Beldum, or eventually a Metagross, so that's a great location for that. Now, there is another passive method, because we can actually run around outside here. And with the right controller setup, if you have a slight turn here, you can actually, it does take a lot of trial and error, but you can actually get it so that you're going to be running along here. You have to have your controllers push a slight bit. So I'd recommend actually just going with the rapidly pressing A method, which you can do really easily here. But the nice thing is you can also spawn in alphas pretty easily doing this, because again, it's going to spawn them in at 50 meters away. It'll despawn them at 70. So yeah, you can do this. And if you got to continuously keep running around in that loop there, you will end up getting yourself a shiny eventually, and it will lock it in. I would recommend doing this at zone 20 though, because this is where you're going to get probably your favorite Pokemon. Now, if you want to farm more than a couple of these at a time, what you can actually do is run up here. Now, unfortunately, only one of them will spawn whenever you get the bench there, but we can actually make this so that 6 are going to be here, and then we can actually go ahead and train or get 3 of them refreshed at a time. So you're going to want to make sure that you can get them with a melee attack. They're going to chase after you. If they're just charging it like that, just run away. The hardest part is luring them there, so you may want to refresh them to get better Pokemon, but once we do, we're just going to save our progress, and then we're just going to close the game. If you did this correctly, you're going to have a legendary or a alpha Pokemon just right there. So you can go back in, grab a couple more of them, and do the exact same. Let me know if you'd like to see a future video on how to get 6 of them at the gate. It is a little bit of a struggle, however, it is worth doing. But this video is obviously best utilized if you have a turbo controller. However, if you do not have one, a left Joy-Con with the control stick going down with an elastic band, and just having the right Joy-Con and spam pressing A while you're doing your chores or things like that, can end up getting you a shiny over time. It is guaranteed once it's there to stay there, so you will get yourself a shiny, and you can actually get quite a few of them. So as you can see here, a lot of great shinies and changes to shinies in this game, so they're worth catching and worth doing. So you can check out some of my other videos for some of the easier strategies, but this one has some great results, as you can see here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit the subscribe button below, and I'll catch you all in the next one.